Welcome to this explainer. Today we're tackling the emotional roller coaster of investing and learning exactly how professional allocators build long-term compounding wealth. If you've ever felt the absolute whiplash of the financial markets, where daily price movements seem as chaotic as trying to predict the weather 6 months out, trust me, you are not alone. But here's the truth. Financial markets are rarely random. So today, we're going to unpack the actual architecture of market cycles and figure out how you can position yourself way ahead of the curve. Okay, let's look at our roadmap. We're covering 4 main areas. First, the reactive investing trap. Second, mastering strategic sector rotation. Third, decoding market cycles. And finally, systems for sustainable wealth. Let's get right into it.
Starting off with part 1, the reactive investing trap, and how we can go about avoiding those emotional pitfalls. It's a question literally as old as the markets themselves, right? Why do investors consistently buy high and sell low, even when they totally know better? Well, think about the 24/7 financial noise, those algorithm-driven headlines, and the endless social media commentary. It's a lot. Driven by all of this, everyday retail investors often just react purely on emotion. We are literally psychologically wired to feel like geniuses when we see green charts, and we feel absolute panic when we see red ones. And that leads to that classic 3 a.m. panic sell when things look the bleakest. This emotional cycle practically forces you to sell precisely when the real long-term opportunities are popping up, and you end up buying only after valuations are already dangerously stretched. Money usually floods into sectors only after years of strong performance, which, as we know, is exactly the wrong time to show up to the party.
The contrast here is just night and day. The reactive retail investor gets completely stuck in the trap of chasing yesterday's momentum, entirely driven by fear and greed. But the strategic capital allocator, they operate on a whole different level. Instead of reacting to momentum, the allocator maps out exactly where capital is likely to go next. They rely on hard fundamentals, and they maintain what we like to call high-stakes patience.
Moving right along to Section 2, mastering strategic sector rotation, and really harnessing those natural market rhythms. Now, just to be super clear right out of the gate, strategic sector rotation is not about trying to predict daily tops and bottoms. Honestly, that's just a fool's errand. Instead, it's a highly disciplined investment process. The whole idea is reallocating your capital towards sectors that are actually showing improving economic fundamentals, and doing it before the broad market even recognizes what's happening. The end game isn't beating the market every single week. It's about maximizing your long-term compounding by continuously adapting your portfolio to whatever the economy throws at you.
So here is the absolutely crucial point. You have to make this major paradigm shift. You've got to start asking yourself, where will capital flow next, not where has it already flowed? Changing just this one fundamental question transforms your entire strategy. You go from reactive speculation straight into forward-looking capital allocation. And remember, successful contrarian investing doesn't mean you just blindly buy up declining assets. Definitely not. It means identifying specific sectors where pessimism has gotten totally out of hand, but where the actual long-term fundamentals are quietly starting to improve.
History repeatedly proves this. It's a predictable pattern where capital transfers, almost like energy, between sectors in response to massive macroeconomic forces. Think about it. During extended bull markets, capital tends to consolidate right into the technology sector. When oil prices surge, the energy sector naturally captures all that flow. And when we enter a clear economic recovery, suddenly the financial sector is the darling of the market. By the time these trends are dominating the evening news, the big institutional investors are already packing up and preparing to rotate their capital somewhere else entirely. You need to be looking at the next row in this cycle way before everyone else does.
Let's explore how to actually spot those shifts in Section 3, decoding market cycles, and finding those movements early. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. You've got to watch for the subtle breadcrumbs left by massive institutional funds. Listen, giant investment funds literally cannot move billions of dollars overnight without completely crashing the price of an asset. So, their accumulation process has to happen gradually. These transitions start super quietly. First, earnings revisions start improving. Next, valuation discounts begin to narrow. Then, out of nowhere, you'll notice corporate insider buying ramping up. And finally, institutional ownership gradually expands. If you're paying close attention to these specific indicators, you can spot those massive institutional movements in their early stages, way before the mainstream media has a clue.
But hey, you absolutely need a safety net. A dropping stock price might just be a temporary market overreaction, or it could be a permanent deterioration of a fundamentally bad business. To make sure you aren't just catching a falling knife, because yeah, that hurts just as much in finance as it does in the kitchen, you must rely on essential fundamental anchors. What are we talking about here? We're talking consistent revenue growth, expanding operating margins, massive free cash flow generation, a fortress-like balance sheet, and absolute debt sustainability. Multiple fundamental signals just like these must align before you even think about deploying your hard-earned capital, because avoiding a value trap is just as critical as finding a great bargain.
Finally, we pivot to Section 4, Systems for Sustainable Wealth, which is all about executing with absolute discipline.
When it comes down to it, the reality of long-term wealth building is pretty simple. The ultimate investment hack isn't some crazy secret algorithm, it's high-stakes patience. The absolute best entry points almost always happen when investor sentiment is incredibly pessimistic. That means you're going to be buying when everyone else is terrified. And you know what? You might have to wait months, maybe even years, for the broader market to finally wake up and recognize the improving fundamentals that you already spotted. Most investors simply do not have this kind of patience, and that right there becomes your primary competitive advantage.
So, how do you actually go about safely building that position? Well, rather than just dumping all your capital in at once, you use a disciplined scaling framework. This severely reduces your timing risk. Here's the playbook. Step 1. You initiate just a partial position the second you get that fundamental confirmation. Step 2. You only increase your exposure as actual earnings begin to improve. Step 3. You add further allocations when the technical trends strengthen. And finally, Step 4. You only complete your full position when multiple independent signals perfectly align. Basically, you are methodically buying your way into certainty.
Furthermore, your compounding is going to accelerate rapidly when you remove daily emotion from the whole equation and rely entirely on automated, repeatable systems. The most successful investors deliberately filter out the daily noise by sticking to written checklists. They set scheduled intervals for portfolio reviews instead of obsessively checking their phone under the table while at dinner with their family. They utilize periodic rebalancing. They strictly adhere to allocation thresholds so they don't get wildly overconcentrated. They practice tax-aware capital management, and they automate their dividend reinvestment. Bottom line, systematic execution beats emotional guesswork every single time.
Part of that systematic approach requires a total mental reset on how you evaluate your success. You've got to stop tracking daily gains or losses right now. They reveal absolutely nothing about your long-term success. Nothing. Instead, evaluate your strategy using meaningful measurements that span across entire economic cycles. You want to look at your multi-year annualized returns, you want to assess your risk-adjusted performance, and definitely pay close attention to your maximum drawdown, which is exactly how much your portfolio drops from its absolute peak. That is how you measure genuine, true resilience.
And of course, we can't talk about building wealth without talking about knowing exactly when to walk away. Maintaining disciplined exit criteria is absolutely crucial. Selling should never, ever be the result of a sudden panic over a scary news cycle. It should always follow predetermined rules. You sell when valuations significantly exceed the intrinsic value of the business. You sell if there is a fundamental, permanent deterioration in the company's core business. You sell if wildly superior opportunities suddenly emerge somewhere else, or if your portfolio concentration simply gets way too risky. Selling is a calculated strategy. It is never an emotional reflex.
So I want to leave you with this final, absolutely vital question to think about. Are you managing a reactive portfolio based on yesterday's headlines, or are you proactively allocating capital for tomorrow's wealth? Strategic sector rotation, guys, it isn't a shortcut to instant riches. It's a profound discipline. But by combining those fundamental anchors we talked about with unshakable emotional discipline and high-stakes patience, you can completely transform market volatility from a source of absolute panic into an incredibly powerful, reliable engine for building permanent wealth across multiple cycles. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to go take a look at your own portfolio through the strategic lens today.